Pressure. When I was a child, my understanding of resilience was as plain as the Sunday school proverbs it encompassed. Simple and basic biblical and morality trademarks like, if at first you don't succeed, and I can do all through Christ. But you can't do it all, because no one can see the depths of your labor. They can't read between your lines or cleft in the middle of your layers. They don't see the price you've paid or look below your surface at the base of your iceberg, struggling to support the thawing pinnacle from the scorching gaze of their judgment. They don't decipher or analyze their thoughts of you like a trillion-sided Rubik's Cube, too abstract to make sense but fully capable of assuming a conceptual shape. They don't dance and prance and ask you to take a stance because they're willing to offer you a chance, because they aren't. No, not for you, and not for me. And not for me. I have stood before their pearly gates of paradise, guaranteed admittance but not their acceptance. I have stood in their courtroom, a defendant surrounded by a jury of my peers, awaiting their sentence and judgment. All the more asking which aspect of me will be allowed, which will be denied, which will offend the slightest and belend the greatest, which aspect of me will decide my fate in this strange new world. There I stood, the intruder, the foreigner, the otherworldly creature that was gazed upon with fascination and contempt, the vibrant and colorful unicorn who was relied on for a jest, the playful and mischievous monkey that could be counted on for a trick. Well, George isn't here to entertain you today. He's in the library reading a book, every page unfolding before him like a movie on full display. His imagination directing every scene while his soul assumes each role. Every aspect of his personality adjusting itself to fit seamlessly in someone else's story. Well, I am an expert at roles. A shapeshifter, a chameleon. A master manipulator, a phenomenal comedian. My entire life can mold itself into any role I choose, and I've got it down to an art form. Every aspect of me, every molecule, every skin flake, and every brainwave is as flexible as a droplet of water, forever content to assume the shape of its environment. I am forever destined to be the mighty hero for one person and the odious villain for another, the sympathetic friend to one and the horrific traitor to their sibling. Is the fox still judged even when he has no interest in the henhouse? Does the wolf still get shunned when he's never worn sheep's clothing? Where there's secrets, there's power, but I'm an open book. My faces change, but my motives do not. The diamond walls surrounding my glass heart are all see-through, yet nobody can see, because those aren't the kinds of secrets people ask me to free. So what am I? Good or bad? Black or white? Hero or villain? Intelligent or foolish? Why don't I fit into your box? Because no one wants to admit that compassion and cruelty can coexist in the same heart. So, for this week's episode of Your Life sitcom, which aspect of me would you like today?
as we get bigger and bigger, the distance between ourselves and that other outside world becomes smaller and smaller. And this world that we are inside, which seemed so huge in the beginning and so infinitely welcoming, has become very uncomfortable. And we are obliged to be born. And my father says that birth is so chaotic and violent that he's sure that at the moment of birth, we're all thinking, this is it. This is death. This is the end of my life. And then we're born, and it's such a surprise because it's just the beginning.
I remember my adopted grandma giving me a silver dollar to seal the deal. I remember her pulling me and my siblings aside and telling each of us that she was going to adopt us, even though my grandparents weren't dead. I remember when I went to work wilderness therapy, her looking me in the eyes and saying, what an amazing job to work with God's precious children. It's not the thought I had. I remember her pushing me down the hallways in the luggage cart and my mom stopping her and saying, Belinda, what would you do if the hotel staff caught you? And her looking my mom in the eyes and saying, I'd look at them and I'd yell, my mom says I'm fiddle! And run away.
I didn't like you when I first met you. In fact, when you expressed interest in me, well, I told you that I felt like throwing up when I thought about dating you. And now we have 2 kids together. Weird, right? Sam, you are a great dad. You are driven and a supportive partner in life. You are the co-pilot of my dreams. You are hilarious as hell, and you make me ugly laugh on the daily.
This year hasn't been the easiest on us, but it has made me love you more. Thanks for taking such good care of me. You were there lifting me up the whole time. You have sacrificed so much to make our family work. We have a beautiful life, and even if this season of life has more struggles than others, I'm glad I'm doing it with you. I love climbing with you and feeling like a team. I love that you defend our cast as members of our family. I love that you believe in me more than I believe in myself. I can't wait to keep living life with you until we're old and shriveled. I love you more than anything.
I remember. You don't think I do, but I do. I looked for answers. I asked questions. I tried to comprehend words and things that didn't make sense to me in hopes that I could ease the burden that always seemed to hold your spirit in this constant state of uncertainty. But one thing was certain, and it was that I understood priorities. And my first priority in my small, underdeveloped brain was you. It's always been you, and it has never stopped. But you don't need me to ease your burden anymore. You have found your peace, and you are happy, which in turn has brought me my peace and made me happy. For the first time, I am venturing out into the start of my life because I feel as if I can.
She walks, though gravity does its part to slow her. The heavy pull between her knees, the low and aching strain. She walks through vineyards, down the streets of her hometown. She walks and walks until she stops to hold the bulb of herself, take in the dulled landscape. Who are you when the sum of your being grows beyond your private mind? She walks to answer, even though she knows she is an ocean, a vital pulse, the oldest, truest song. She keeps an office in her sternum, the flat bone in the center of her chest, with all its urgent papers vast appointments, lists of minor things. In her vertebrae, she holds more carnal tasks, milk jugs, and heavy-bottomed sorrows in all their mortal rage. She keeps frustration in her hallux, senseless chatter, jealous fangs, the spikes of an enemy's tail. The belly is more complicated, all heartache and ambition, fires and tidal waves. In her pelvis she holds her labors, long, slippery, and hard. In her clavicle, more silent things, money and power, safety and choice, tiny banquets of shame. In her hands she carries their egos, small and flimsy. In her mouth she holds their laughter, gentle currents, a cosmos of everything. Can I have it all? No. Can I have it all? No. Can I have it all? I don't know. She walks, though gravity does its part to slow her. The heavy pull between her knees, the low and aching strain. She walks through vineyards, down the streets of her hometown. She walks and walks until she stops to hold the bulb of herself, take in the dulled landscape. Who are you when the sum of your being grows beyond your private mind? She walks to answer, even though she knows she is an ocean, a vital pulse, the oldest, truest song. She keeps an office in her sternum, the flat bone in the center of her chest, with all its urgent papers, vast appointments, lists of minor things. In her vertebrae, she holds more carnal tasks, milk jugs, and heavy-bottomed sorrows in all their mortal rage. She keeps frustration in her hallux, senseless chatter, jealous fangs, the spikes of an enemy's tail. The belly is more complicated, all heartache and ambition, fires and tidal waves. In her pelvis she holds her labors, long, slippery, and hard. In her clavicle, more silent things, money and power, safety and choice, tiny banquets of shame. In her hands she carries their egos, small and flimsy. In her mouth she holds their laughter, gentle currents, a cosmos of everything. Can I have it all?